always hard to... It's like, is it round 32, or should I say round 2, or should I say round 2 of 32? I don't know what to say, man. So many names for this round.
Just skip it.
Skip it? No, man, I gotta do the wolf intro.
The wolf intro, like, oh!
Not that one. I'll pass on that one.
Why?
Ever since I don't know. I'm not into the howling thing.
Okay. To the bottom left, we have our channel player in the red color, up 1 game. It is the MVP player.
MVP Keen.
MVP Keen. He just won with the blue flame Hellion attack. Looking very confident here. I actually really like those team shirts that they have.
Yeah, it looks really nice. It's kind of stylish.
Army style. Top right, we have his opponent in Cloud Kingdom. Incredible Miracle Zerg player.
I am NesTea.
I am NesTea, and well, this guy on Cloud Kingdom, he is so strong. We were able to cast him at IPL when he was facing alive. On Iron Squid, I was casting his games as well, and on this map, he is just going nuts. His Mutalisks are always doing so much damage. A lot of players will decide to go on Festus on Cloud Kingdom just because there's so not very a lot of space behind the bases of your opponent, and there are a lot of positions where you can get trapped with Mutalisks. But with the exceptional unit micro that NesTea has, he always pulls it off. He snipes so many siege tanks, medivacs.
He's so good at the siege tank snipe.
Yeah,
we saw
incredible.
at IPL, he repeatedly tried to harass over the natural expansion where there's a little ridge, and every time the Terran would 1A to attack the Muse, the medivacs would fly over the ridge and he would catch them over and over again. He knew the pathing the medivacs would take, and he actually just killed, I don't know, we were casting that maybe like 8 to 10 medivacs in a period of 2 to 3 minutes, just repeatedly pulling them over the cliff like that. And eventually the Terran was like, oh, I can't fly over that with one control group anymore, but it was just cool to see that he knew that well where the medivacs would be exactly.
And back at IPL, one thing that I criticized a little bit about Alive's play was that he was adding the Thor so late, and it was a huge problem for him to deal with the Mutalisk pressure. On the games at Iron Squid, he actually added the Thors in those matchups a little bit earlier, but still, NesTea somehow pulled it off. It was just so great to watch how he was approaching the matchup, and this is something that we are probably going to see in this game as well. We have now the expansion for Keen, who is immediately taking double gas, so he is right now in possession of 2 refineries that he's currently building, and will get the Reactor Factory Hellions probably just a little bit delayed. This is another version of the Reactor Factory Hellion expand that you can play. You start with the command center a bit earlier, take the double gas, and then you get the factory.
Yeah, and oftentimes there's usually 2 follow-ups to even this type of the build, one of which you make a tech lab with your barracks and follow up with Banshees, cloak or not, usually cloak, and the other one is to make a faster 3rd command center. Either way, you eventually get siege tanks because you have to be able to deal with that potential roach pressure that we have seen so many times, especially on the GSL. And you can see right here the neutral depot being destroyed, but the SCV Scout will be able to verify that there is no fast 3rd coming down for NesTea, but does not know how much gas has been mined. And right now, NesTea has pulled 2 drones out of the gas. He's mining with just 1, so he's probably not going to put any additional aggression on, but he could change his mind at any moment.
This leaves him a little bit more flexibility.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of Zerg players lately just rely on 4 queens and try to be a little bit more passive. Terran players like MMA start to get very, very early 3rd command centers as soon as they realize that there's not going to be gas early enough. But there's also a little bit of a variation that we've observed on Daybreak. For example, when you go for a roach bailing attack, even though you start with 4 queens, you just suddenly get 3 gas, and then you have enough gas to get your roach warren, get the roaches, get the bailing nest as well. So a lot of variation going on in this matchup. We really like it. And at this point, we have the starport for Keen coming up. He has a few Hellions in production, and he already adds the tech lab, so we might just see a transition into Cloak Banshees.
Yeah, I think we definitely will. I mean,
it's a little bit old school, guys.
It is, but it's kind of like it's the way that people are playing this matchup right now. I mean, in the past, I guess, month or so, it's like everyone has decided this is the way to follow up this double gassing after the command center. It's either this or taking the faster 3rd command center, and I guess it does make sense because with the Banshee you can do so much. You can harass, you can take control of watchtowers, you can delay creep.
You can do it like Maru style and just add a Raven, try to take control of the map, use a couple of your auto turrets if need be in order to harass your opponent's mineral line. You can take down the creep tumors, so there's a lot of potential here.
There absolutely is. You're entirely correct in that. And we're going to see these Hellions come and scout the third base, but they won't be able to do much more than that because this time NesTea has not cut the corner on the Spine Crawler. He's making enough Zerglings now. He should be able to kill these Hellions if the Hellions get a little bit too over-eager. Cloak is halfway done. The first Banshee is out. He's rallying a second one behind this as well. And part of what the Banshee does accomplish is if you force your opponent to make Spore Crawlers, even more than one, it's actually just worth it to have the Banshee because that's a lot of minerals spent. You lose a drone, you make a Spore Crawler.
And he's attacking the Queen right now, so the Queen will most likely fall very, very soon. The Banshee already had it this way, and with the Queen down to 1/3 of their hit points, it will just die in a few shots, and there's the Banshee.
Yep, here it is.
He immediately tries to run away. Yeah, but the Queen is done for, and this is exactly what he was aiming for. This is why he attacked the Queen with the Hellions.
And now he actually is going to he has Cloak, and he will just Cloak the Banshee and continue to target down drones. Killing the Queens is not his goal here. And NesTea's Evolution Chamber is only halfway done. He's in a lot of trouble here, man. And there's a second Banshee coming across the map as well.
You know, already has 8 kills at this point, and Spore Crawlers will take ages. Look at this. He's killing so many drones. Keen just with a perfect build. He's even targeting the Queen right now. And he's going to kill it.
He's going in with Hellions at the same time.
As well. He's everywhere. Keen is everywhere, and NesTea, I don't want to say that he's falling apart, but he's in so much trouble.
Yeah, he is in a lot of trouble indeed. And the second Banshee is now about to arrive at the third. There is a Spore in place, but he can just avoid it. And I'm sure that's exactly what he's going to do here. Right now, the work count 44 to 44. Banshee does come in here. He's going to lose a Banshee to a Spore Crawler. Close call there. He's trying to target the Queen now.
He keeps all his Banshees alive. This is the amazing thing about the style that Keen plays right now. All his Banshees are still alive. They pose a constant threat to the Terran player. A Zergling run by, trying to do some damage here. There's a bunker at the back, but the supply depots are going to die. And how many Harvesters did he kill in total? 21.
Yep, and it doesn't look like it's necessarily over yet. This Banshee may potentially kill another one in this Spore Crawler here. He needs to be careful with that Banshee. Banshee very low on energy as well here. I think she's just going to come in and get one more scout to get out.
He's double expanding here.
Yeah, double
not
layer.
expanding, sorry, but he's getting double layer.
Yeah. That's
definitely a misclick.
Yeah, he probably just accidentally double-clicked. Oh, Baneling hit there, did a decent amount of damage. In total, you can see killed about 10 Harvesters. Could have been better, but it was decent for sure. He's going to do it again by the looks of things. He's got 4 more Banelings ready to go here, but they have been spotted by this Viking, and he has a wall ready and a siege tank now, so they will likely not hit their mark this time. The Banshees are coming home, by the way, Keldor, and they will be repaired for sure. They'll come back to do more later.
The harass by Keen is really exceptional at this point, and double layer, and as soon as NesTea sees this, yeah, this is a facepalm moment. He will look at it and we'll be like, oh my god, I didn't realize this.
You'll probably see his facial expression. Cool, yeah, you'll probably see his facial expression change in his booth. You may have already seen it down there when he finds out. It's a very unfortunate thing. We've seen players do this with double infestation pits, for example. It just happens sometimes. Again, I really feel he probably double-clicked on this hatchery as natural and then just pressed L and maybe held it down a little too long. I don't know, but
yeah, most likely.
Because they made it almost the exact same time.
He definitely double-clicked on the hotkey. That's the only explanation there, is my opinion. And because so many Harvesters were killed, his lair tag is already a little bit late. We have the Spire now at 12 and 40, which is very, very late. Overlord's being killed. Keen is just such a nuisance at this point.
Yeah, he's
Let's be frank about it. The guy's a pain in the ass. Hey, come on, he's coming. Yeah. He's going in with Blue Flame Hellions in the first game. Then he starts with the Cloak Banshee, follows it up with Hellions, comes in with a Viking, takes down the Overlord, and now he's going to drop. The Viking took down the Overlords. There's no scouting information, and now there's a dropship.
Yep, and he killed 3 Overlords, in fact, with that Viking. He has a third base up and running. He's going to trash his opponent's main base here. Should be able to kill the Queen at least.
I would be so annoyed if I was NesTea.
He's going for that pool.
And he will kill it.
He will. He needs to move the meta back.
Yeah, the pool is gone. No more Zerglings, and he escapes in time, but he has to be very careful that the medevac is not picked off by the second Queen at the third base.
Oh, he's just going to wait behind that stalactite, I guess.
He's probably just moving in once again.
Yeah, probably will. As soon as the Lings leave the main base, he'll take advantage of that.
Infestation pit is just done, starting pathogen glands.
Yep, NesTea going with the Infestor style this time. The Zergling count is actually pretty high. It's at 79, so losing the spawning pool at this moment in time is slightly annoying, but it's not going to put NesTea in a position where Keen has a timing to attack him or anything like that. It's going to be just a nuisance that he has to deal with. It is being remade. It's finishing up right now. Pathogen glands, as you mentioned, are on the way. Hive Tech is on the way as well on just 3 bases.
Only one this time?
Yeah, only one. That's very true. He could have potentially made 2, but does not seem to be a good idea.
The thing that amazes me about NesTea nonetheless is that even though he got harassed the entire time, he was able to keep his drone production up. And he did not lose too many units to these Hellions that tried to run by, so that was actually done very, very well. And now the Viking in the assault mode trying to take down this expansion attempt by NesTea. Keen is playing this so smart, and he's now trying to target down the third, and the Banelings and Zerglings are moving in, but Siege Tanks on the low ground doing a fair amount of damage, especially to those Banelings. NesTea needs more of them, and he knows it. He's morphing 14 additional ones. Now the Lings moving in here. The Siege Tanks.
He's going to go for it. I think he could have even gone earlier, but he does not attack the way he should have waited if he was going to attack then. I mean, if he wanted to attack before the second group of Marines came, he just didn't. After he lost his tumors, a good fungal, but he loses so many Banelings.
Too many.
Way too many.
Too many. He's
Why
down,
attack there?
Down to 120 supply against 150. 3 bases at this point in time for Keen. He takes down the 4th.
Cancel.
No cancel on the hatch, and wow, this is really bad. This is bad for NesTea. He tries to go for Ultralisks, but we have Thors are building now, and oh god, I think as soon as he scouts the tech switch, and he knows it, he scans it.
He flies over the Ultralisk.
Wow.
I mean, what else can we say? NesTea is in a terrible position right now.
I think Keen is going to take this one.
I think you're right, man. I mean, NesTea looked really strong at Iron Squid, and even his openings in this game were good, but Keen was just too good at this harass. The Ultralisk Cavern will have to be cancelled, it looks like.
This is like the harassment king. It is insane. NesTea's games against Alive at Iron Squid were amazing. And right now, if Keen is actually able to pull this off with 2-0, this is something that I would have never predicted. But look, the third base, it is down.
Yeah,
he
what do you guys
everywhere. He drops in the main base.
What are you guys saying now? 9% who voted for Keen. What are you saying now?
Well, I have to admit, I would have been one of those people who would have voted for NesTea here, so I can't blame them.
Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. They're probably going, I told you guys.
Yeah.
But 3 Ultras are on the way. The Cavern does survive. There are Adrenal Glands as well as +3 Carapace on the way here, but NesTea is likely not going to hold here. It's just 3 base annihilation streaming across the map from Keen.
Just look at things. He's dropping everywhere. He has units everywhere. He's attacking at so many points. The guy's just a nuisance. It's horrible to play against him.
There's no infestors nearby. There's no mutas, so he can actually just lift up and get out every time this happens.
This reminds me of this Terran versus Proto style, where Terran just stims in, takes down the Nexus, and retreats again. This is what Keen does. He is harassing everywhere, attacking, taking down the spawning pool, taking down a Baneling nest, trying to kill the tech, and then just snipes an expansion as soon as his opponent is out of position with his army.
Yeah, this is, I mean, NesTea is going to win this engagement perhaps, but there's just so much going on. His base at the bottom right is going to have to be cancelled again at the 3 o'clock. Does not even cancel. He loses a hatchery again. That's perhaps the 3rd time, maybe even the 4th time that's happened to him this game at that same location without a cancel.
Commander Keen is on a roll here.
He absolutely is, man, and I don't know what else to say. He's just tearing through NesTea's army. The thing is, NesTea's holding each time just barely because Keen's not consolidating his forces. He's just rallying them across the map in a big line. But as soon as he just waits for a second, gets all of his troops together for a minute, and attacks with a big push, NesTea will likely die. His Ultras are starting to fall here. He can't even really afford to remake them. So I'm surprised to see him actually try to attack at these locations. He's trying to get an edge, but he just cannot grab on.
And by now, we obviously have this many Marauders. He knows that he's dealing with Ultralisks. And he's on 3-3, while NesTea only has
3-1.
2-1 actually.
Yeah, 3+3 just finished.
Okay, just finished. So
but mostly it's been 2-1, you're right. I mean, it just literally finished at this moment.
The 3rd base, it's not going to happen.
No
it is
cancel.
not going to happen. There's not going to be a 3rd base for NesTea. Ladies and gentlemen, this is about it. He's doubling his opponent's supply, 180 against 90. GG!
NesTea losing 0-2 to Keen.
Oh my god.
Nobody expected this. Well, only 9% of people apparently expected this.
I don't think he expected it. Look at him. He is so happy. He's so happy right now. Nearly pulling a wolf and throwing his headset to the ground. There it is! Yeah, guys, we talked about this earlier. If there's one thing that you can rely on, that is that in every 5-minute break that we have, Wolf will stand up, will tangle his food in the cable of his headset and just throw it onto the ground.
Hey, don't say the word throw, man. I don't throw it.
Okay, you don't throw it.
It accidentally gets displaced from the table, all right?
Every single time. Exactly. Yeah, but what an amazing series. I mean, Keen, I can't believe it. His harassment here, incredible. This guy is literally everywhere, and yeah, the blue flame Hellions in the first game, and well, NesTea kind of shrugged it off. He was like, okay, well, I skipped a few corners, I didn't even build a spine crawler, I was a bit unlucky, but okay, Cloud Kingdom, this is my map, and then suddenly there is Keen, and he's attacking with Banshees. He's actually hitting a timing when NesTea didn't even have any detection at all. His
Evo
the whole
chambers
thing.
were late, I feel like.
Think about the Hellions. He went in with the Hellions, targeted the Queen because he knew exactly, I'll just lower the hit points on the Queens, then I move in with my Banshee, take down the Queen, move on to the drones, get into the main base. Second Banshee arrives, following it up with drops, with a Viking killing the Overlords.
It's a common strategy, in fact, to have this Banshee follow-up. Right now, it's really, really common, and people do target the Queens quite often, but NesTea, even after seeing that Queen targeting, he might have even probably felt a little bit suspicious that this might be coming. His Evolution Chamber was so late, though, and even if he had it on time, Keen would have definitely done some damage regardless. But without the Evolution Chamber, he lost Queens, he lost so many drones, and then when the Evolution Chamber was done, he just couldn't make spores because they were being killed by the Banshees, or he ignored them and killed the drones anyways. Then the Viking, he used the Viking. That's something we didn't talk about enough. I feel he used the Viking to make sure the Overlords were not in position to spot his drops. Absolutely amazing play by Keen.
One of the things that make players like NesTea so great is that they usually are able to just force their opponent to react. And this is something that he was not able to do today because Keen, everything went according to plan. So Keen must have been, this is exactly how I pictured these games go. And yeah, everything worked fine. He takes it with 2-0. A little bit of an upset here, but well played and well deserved.
Yeah, well deserved indeed. When we get back, we're going to have Line against MMA. So don't go anywhere. We'll see you in 5.
Oh, nice. More zealots.